This is KGW News at noon.
Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Drew Carney, in today for Brenda Braxton. And we start this afternoon in Washington, where the state is moving into the next phase of its COVID vaccine rollout plan. So more people in Washington are now eligible to get vaccinated. It includes anyone over the age of 65. Of course, before you had to be at least 70 years old. And also this, if you're over the age of 50 and you live in a multi-generational home, you can also get the vaccine now. Governor Jay Inslee just announced these changes yesterday. So Clark and Calais counties have both said they'll be ready to start vaccinating people that meet these requirements later this week. But they also say you should submit a request form on your county's health website. Bottom line is this: while more people in Washington are now eligible, it doesn't mean the state has enough doses to vaccinate everyone right away. There is a tool available for people living in Washington that lets you check to see if you are eligible for the COVID vaccine. Brian Clerkley has more details on how it works.
Washington has launched a more robust version of the Phase Finder tool, and it lets people know when they're eligible for the vaccine. It asks you questions about your health, living situation, age, and if you want the vaccine. In a matter of minutes, it'll have an answer for you. If you get a message that says you're not eligible now, the site says the health department can notify you when you are by sending an email or text. For those that are eligible, Phase Finder provides details on what to do next. Among those eager to get the vaccine is 67-year-old Nigel Tabor Hamilton, who lives on Whidbey Island, Washington. He was quick to use the new Phase Finder tool and found out he was eligible.
Even though I'm very healthy, other people who are very healthy have died of this. So it's really a fearful time, I think, certainly for me. And so getting the vaccine will really be a relief for me. And then when my wife can get the vaccine, then it'll be total relief.
If you live in Oregon, OHA has launched a tool that helps people determine if they're eligible for the vaccine. It works as an online chat. It asks you questions about your age and profession, and at the end, it'll let you know if you qualify. And we have a link to the Phase Finder tool on our website, kgw.com. I'm Brian Clerkley, KGW News.
So that's the latest in Washington. Let's talk about Oregon's vaccination plan right now. In an effort to get schools back open, Oregon teachers and school staff are next in line. They can start getting vaccines next Monday. Seniors will get priority after that, so anyone 80 and older can get vaccinated in Oregon in about 3 weeks, starting February 8th. 75 and older can start on February 15th. For 70 plus, it's a week later on February 22nd. And then on March 1st, the age requirement in Oregon drops to 65 and older. We have a vaccine team here at KGW made up of producers and reporters who are working every day to answer your questions and clear up any confusion you might have about vaccinations. You can text story ideas or concerns to the team. There's the text line right there, 503-226-5088. Back to Washington. In Vancouver, Evergreen Public Schools returned to class today. So this week, it's just kindergarten and first grade. Small groups of those kids will meet in person 2 days a week, and then they'll continue to learn remotely the days they aren't in the classroom. Next week, second and third graders will begin this hybrid model, and then fourth and fifth graders the week after that. There is a national memorial happening today to honor everyone who's died from COVID. It's one of the events happening ahead of Joe Biden's inauguration tomorrow. Cities and towns across the country will light up buildings and ring church bells. So it starts at 2:30 our time with a lighting ceremony at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool in Washington, D.C. Here in Portland, the Oregon Convention Center will be lit up in red, white, and blue. New at noon, the Senate is back in session, and for the first time, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is calling out President Trump for provoking the deadly riot at the U.S. Capitol earlier this month.
The mob was fed lies. They were provoked by the president and other powerful people. And they tried to use fear and violence to stop a specific proceeding of the first branch of the federal government, which they did not like. But we pressed on. We stood together and said an angry mob would not get veto power over the rule of law in our nation, not even for one night.
McConnell hasn't said yet whether he supports moving forward with an impeachment trial, a trial that could start as soon as tomorrow. Well, what we know for sure about tomorrow is that we'll have a new president with the inauguration of Joe Biden. Tracy Potts is in Washington, D.C. with the latest on the orders that the president-elect's team says he'll sign within hours of being sworn into office.
Tonight, from the Lincoln Memorial, Joe Biden will deliver his final message as president-elect before his highly anticipated inaugural speech tomorrow.
It's a message of unity. It's a message of getting things done. That's what he'll be talking about January 20th.
Biden's team says he'll start signing executive orders on day one, creating a path to citizenship, ending the national emergency at the border, rejoining the World Health Organization and the Paris Climate Agreement, and reversing the ban on transgender people in the military, a 10-day blitz of immediate actions to address the nation's most urgent needs. Today, 5 Senate committees questioned Biden's cabinet nominees under a massive military presence at the Capitol.
This is 3 times the number of guardsmen we would normally have in support of the United States Secret Service.
To all the people of this country, you will be in my heart forever.
First Lady Melania Trump sharing her final message to the nation. Her husband hasn't been seen in a week. Sources familiar tell NBC News President Trump could announce dozens of pardons and commutations as soon as today, while working on his impeachment defense and a red carpet send-off. Tomorrow, he becomes the first president in more than 150 years to skip inauguration, saying goodbye to a city and a nation lit with the glow of democracy. President Trump planning a military send-off with a color guard and a 21-gun salute, a military band. He may even make some comments before boarding Air Force One for the last time. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.